Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's double trouble time. The camera always makes my hand look gigantic. It's double trouble time. Boom. All right, if you don't know, now you know. I'm Jared A. Brown. I'm half of Double Trouble. And Double Trouble, we interview the brightest minds in the digital marketing space, entrepreneurs that are crushing it. And I've got a great guest tonight. Saskia Koles is our guest. She's originally from Germany, which I'm so excited to interview her because I lived in Germany. And I speak German, and so this is really cool. My twin brother and I were going to be interviewing Saskia Koles. We're connected with her because of the OAR method and the amazing story framework. So please, if you're from the community, the OAR community, drop a comment, and when she comes on, please give her a very warm welcome. I see some comments already from Jackie and Becca. What up, ladies? What is going on? Hopefully we can get Ian, Ryan, and some other people from OAR to comment as well. Whoop, whoop. All right, here we go. Man, I'm going to bring in my womb brother. There we go, Lambo and Sherry. Thank you for tuning in, Sherry. Lambo in the house. So here we go. I'm going to bring in my twin brother, Double Trouble Bro 2. All right, here we go. Here we go. Co-host time. That music always gets me
What
hyped
is
up. I
up?
love it.
I know, I love that. Good to see you, brother. I
Yeah,
know it's early
likewise.
where
I'm
you're
hyped.
at. I know it's early where you're at. So everyone, Jeff he's back in Abu Dhabi. All right. I was lucky to have him with me the last time we did a live show. That was really cool. We interviewed Nicole together and he was here at my house.
Yeah, speaking of
We've
which,
got
yeah,
Nicole's
tuning
watching
in
and
right
she's
now.
on vacation. Speaking of which, here she is. So there she is, Jeff. So last time we interviewed together, we interviewed Nicole, and I've got her comment up right now. And you were here, but now you went back to New York, and then you flew from New York back to Abu Dhabi.
Right.
So
I've been back here in Abu Dhabi about a week. Yeah, about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I don't know if the viewers or if you remember what jet lag means when you recover from that sort of time zone, right? Time difference. But it literally took me about a week to adjust to the time zone, the time difference and jet lag. But I guess it really didn't help also that I was going from like Ireland first on the trip, New York City, then Utah.
You were in all sorts of time zones.
So my natural time clock in my head was all discombobulated.
Yeah. You're like, I've got codes in all sorts of area codes.
Yeah.
I'm
Luda.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, listen, we've got Saskia Koles, super amped and super hyped to interview Saskia. So we're going to bring her on. Super glad that we've got a lot of people from the OAR family. Hey, fam. So Lambo, he's saying, yo, we've got Becca, Nicole, Sherry, Jackie. Hopefully, we can get everyone here to continue to comment and to give Saskia some mad support. So happy that we've got her and that we're interviewing her. But I'm going to bring her on. We're going to do the VIP intro to build some more hype and excitement. Good. Here we go with VIP, because she's our VIP tonight. VIP.
Bring her on. Let's do this.
Boom!
Saskia!
Hello! Here we go. We've got everybody commenting. I'm so excited. Sherry saying, go Saskia. Whoop, whoop.
It's so interesting
thank you.
Seeing Jared's background, because I was literally in Times Square like a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
Is it trippy? Yeah. You're like,
yeah,
I want to be back there.
I actually walked right by that taxi that's in back of him.
Oh, that exact taxi, eh?
Yeah, and the guy's mad. He, because I'm in his way. He's trying to drive, and I'm like just chilling right here, He's pretty upset, but it's cool, Yeah. All right, Becca, and then Nicole saying, she say, hello, my bestie.
Hello.
All right, so nice. So glad to have you in on our show, the Double Trouble Show, as our esteemed guest. So
yes,
one of the first questions that I have for you, Saskia, is what brought you onto the journey of an online business?
It's a long story.
All right.
We got time.
So I, like you mentioned, was born and raised in Germany, and we moved over here right after I finished high school. So I finished high school. We had the summer in Germany, and then we moved here September 1st, and I had to go to college because that's what you have to do. So
Right.
I started college, and when um I graduated high school. When we graduated high school in Germany, it was 13 years instead of 12. Right after us, they dropped it down to 12 to be more competitive age-wise with America. But so
Okay.
I was 19, and at 18, you age out of like family-based immigration, like visas and stuff. So I had
Right.
to be
Okay.
an international student, which meant full-time student, not allowed to work, and my dad was supporting on one income all four of us with putting me through college, which is a lot more expensive here than
That
in
is a
Germany.
lot.
So,
Wow.
so in other words, it didn't provide you a work permit, only a visa to go to school.
Yeah. I could work on campus, but that was like very low, and you could only work 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did that. When I finished my 2-year degree for pre-engineering, because got to step in my dad's footsteps and go for engineering, even though he's in the automotive industry, and I always said I don't want to be in the automotive industry, but let's just go right full force ahead, and that's where I landed in automotive.
Interesting.
All right.
When I finished my 2-year degree for pre-engineering, I then had, because I wasn't allowed to work, my only option was 4-year university for my 4-year degree, or like a 1-year internship at my dad's company. Because my dad at that point was then supporting 2 kids in college, my brother and I, and
Mhm.
the family of 4 and just one income. So at the
Wow.
then a apprenticeship program that they just started here in Michigan fell into my lap. I applied for it. I got a job offer, and that's where I landed. Automotive industry, right where I didn't want to be, and then that's where I was. I've been with the
That seems
same
so
company.
appropriate for Michigan, though. I mean,
Well,
I know, right?
yeah. Especially when you go into engineering, there's really no other way
Yeah.
to go. But yeah, in the apprenticeship program, I fell in love with my now husband. We were dating. I've been with the same company for 10 years now, which is crazy. I've moved up within the company, but then I had kids. I had fertility struggles with my daughter. And then
Wow.
I was high risk with her with something super rare.
Mhm.
I had her early. It was a good birth experience, but she was 4 weeks early, and that was scary. And then it
right.
was right before COVID. I had her January, and by the time I was supposed to go back to work, everything shut down. So, which was
That couldn't have been easy.
it really was not, because everybody at that point was still scared, and with
Yeah, there were so
Sure.
many unknowns
with
at that time, especially about COVID and what we were supposed to be doing.
yeah, and with
Safeguard.
such a young baby, it was like, do we have the grandparents come and help, but
Right.
at the time it was, we all went to work from home, and my job is mainly a computer job. That's fine, and she was so young, she was still working at most of the time. She was still sleeping most of the time. That's the easy phase. When they start
Exactly.
moving, that's when it gets hard. So we made it work, and then my daughter was with us, and then grandparents came, and my mother-in-law would watch her while I worked, and I'm very grateful for that. So when we tried for my son, I actually thought that I wasn't going to be able to get pregnant because of the fertility struggles that we had with her. And I told my husband, we'll try for 6 months, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Right.
It just is what it is. But we got pregnant right away. So then I had my son, and
Wow.
um,
Uh-huh.
in between, I had a lot of struggles with postpartum depression,
It's
and
real.
it is. I think I had it's from my mom, depression kind of things going on for a long time, but postpartum, it really it went deep.
Mm-hmm.
It went deep, like to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed even to take care of my daughter because that's how deep I was in.
And
Yeah.
do you think?
I can only imagine.
Do you think
Yeah.
at that time, because of what was going on with COVID and all these extra curricular things, that maybe compounded
Oh,
the
absolutely.
depression?
It must have.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only imagine.
Plus, we only have my husband's side of the family here in Michigan because in between all of that, my side of the family moved down to North Carolina. So that was the only support we had for like childcare or any support really.
From family.
So it's hard with COVID and depression and all of that. So after I got treated for the depression, I kind of dabbled into like virtual assisting, kind of the
Okay.
online space. But then
Yeah.
after I had my son and I went back to work and I just
It
dreading
wasn't for you anymore.
No,
Huh?
it wasn't for me anymore. And as I followed all the motherhood accounts on my private TikTok, this one girl, she started this affiliate marketing journey. So I followed her account there. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. And after like 4 or
Mm-hmm.
5 months of following her and seeing her succeed, and
Or stalking
she's
her.
stalking her. I was one of the ones that watches content for 6 months before
Yeah.
I did. But now I'm
Before
like,
you take action.
take action all the time.
Yeah.
So I got into the course that she was promoting, which is the infamous $7 course. I did that, and then it was just not successful for me with the whole modeling content situation. And then around the time where I was ready to give up, the master resale rights came around, and I through Alicia and Nicole, I got into that, and that's where I am. And then I got into the Caton and Lambo world, and here I am with you guys.
Very nice. Very cool. So how long have you known Nicole then? Because she calls you besties,
Yeah,
BFFs.
we're like digital besties. We've
All
only
right.
known each other for like 2 months now, since
Oh wow. Okay.
May. Yeah.
You've really clicked.
Yeah. Yep. It's weird how that happens more now in the digital space than it happens in
Yeah.
like real life. Like I have a few friends that I really click with, and no matter what happens in between us talking, we'll just click right together. But Nicole and I were
Yeah.
just talking every day. Like
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's super interesting how that happens a lot more frequently with the digital world, and with everything that we do online nowadays. It's pretty crazy, but it's good, because oftentimes, you wouldn't meet otherwise, so it opens up other doors that we wouldn't ordinarily have.
Yeah, and I think as a mother, especially as a mother of 2 young ones within like the whole COVID world and all of that, you kind of escape into the online world, and when you find somebody that you can really relate to in the online world, it just, yeah, you said it clicks, and it's like. And Nicole and I have very weird similarities of like our lives, and our kids are very similar. So it's like we're twins very far apart. Like,
Yeah, so
I can relate to that. I sometimes feel like a twin.
Little bit.
Sometimes.
Maybe.
Your youngest is
Mein Zwillingsbruder.
Yes.
You said that your youngest is 3 or 4?
My My daughter is 3.5. She's the older one, and my son is 14 months. So a year
Okay.
and 2 months. Yeah.
So your daughter that's 3 and kind of throwing her own little party in her bed.
A bed.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Does she ever do pranks on? Yeah, I mean,
Not
so
yet.
Jared and I, growing up, we used to do like pranks. I guess your children are too young to maybe do that right now. But what's kind of funny is we had chores, and my mom would hang up the chart on the refrigerator, and we would look at the chores on those charts, and we knew exactly which things we had to accomplish on any given day, Monday through Friday, right?
Right.
And there were times I felt like Jared wasn't pulling his load, right? You know, and so I wanted to get even with him and play a prank. So on this particular day, our home there had the hose right next to the faucet, you know, in the kitchen, and I taped the handle shut, so whenever someone turned the lever up on the water, it would just come shooting out. That was my plan. So when Jared would finally go do the dishes like he was supposed to and turn on the water, it would shoot him in the face.
Right.
Well, it didn't work out. It didn't work out as I expected, because Jared wasn't doing the dishes, and my mom didn't hold him accountable, and my mom went to the kitchen to do the dishes on his behalf.
Oh boy.
And so she turned the water on, and the water came shooting out and hit my mom right in the face.
No, she like tries to. She's at the stage where she wants to like extend bedtime, and she plays little games, but no trickeries yet. I know it'll come, but not yet.
Yeah. Not right now, but maybe a little bit later.
Yes.
So let me ask you. I lived in the headquarters for Volkswagen in Wolfsburg, and so is it kind of like that living near Detroit, because it's it's known so much for being automotive, and Ford was kind of invented there, or tell me a little bit about your experience living in Michigan. How do you like it? What do you not like?
Like the very first thing when we landed here, because like Germany, I guess, was more like temporary style, but we landed here, and like just the look of the carpet in Detroit airport, and it's like, did we like zoom back to the 80s or something? It's like, wow.
Was it outdated?
Yes. At the time, I mean,
kind
it
of
was
antiquated.
It was 2010, and the carpet from the 70s was still there, you know.
Oh no. I hope it's been updated since then.
Well, yeah, it has. There's no more carpet as far as I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I grew up in a bigger city in Cologne, very much city style. So moving here, we were in the suburbs, and it's completely different in the suburbs here than even like the outskirts of the city where we were living in apartments and stuff, right?
Right.
So the fact, like in Germany, I never had to go get a driver's license because I would take public transportation everywhere.
Right.
Ever since I was like 12, I was independent driving
light rail, or
right. I would go like 30 minutes away with the train to go do my sporting events.
U-Bahn, Straßenbahn.
Yeah, come back home at night, safe. But here, like right away, I had to go get a driver's license because you can't go anywhere.
It's so much different, right?
Yeah. I mean, and Cologne's a big city.
Yeah.
I've been there many times, and it's very well known, Jared, for the big cathedral that's right in the middle of
Okay.
Cologne. It's majestic. I mean, that's the thing about every even a town in Germany, but in every big city, the church, the cathedral is right in the middle, and then everything is just like strategically built around the church after that.
Yeah, because Germany was a very, very Catholic country for a long time.
Totally.
We're
So-
very, very proud of our churches.
So I just want to say to Nicole right now, because I think it's important to let her know you're not alone. No, you're not alone. You're
What's wrong with him?
not alone.
This is why I get up at 3:30 in the morning so Jerry can sing on a live broadcast. What a goofball!
I
That's
know.
and like I mean, we titled this "How to Make Money with Storytelling," right? And that's the
Yes.
thing is like I found through coaching programs that I've done before, Caden and Lambe, it was more like a lifestyle coach, that women and mothers, I don't know about men, you guys don't like to talk about your feelings, but
We we should.
yes, you should.
We should though.
But what
Yes.
women and moms always feel alone. But there's so many people that go through the same that you're going through or wanting to have the same that you want. And that's where storytelling comes in. Nobody knows what you've been through or what you're going through unless you tell your story. And that's
Absolutely.
how you connect to people.
Mhm.
Nicole and I have connected on so many levels that are freaky on
Right?
like our pregnancies, our surgeries. Like we both had gallbladder surgery right after.
Wow.
And
Holy
it's like
smokes.
she's
I can just
this
imagine
year-
all the stories that you could tell just about that.
Oh God. Yeah. You know what's fun? Having an emergency C-section and then exactly 4 weeks later, a month later, same day, the next month, getting your gallbladder out.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a lot on your body. That's a lot of stress on your body.
Last year was the most insane year I've had. His pregnancy was another high risk pregnancy, so I went through 2 high risk pregnancies.
Mhm.
And I was in the hospital a lot because the placenta was right on the cervix, so I was bleeding quite a lot, which is disgusting. But and then the umbilical cord was between the cervix and his head. I was cleared for
Wow, how scary.
I was cleared for normal birth because it pulled
Mhm.
up, but then after my water broke, the cord went back down, and every time I had a contraction, he was in distress. So that's why I had the emergency C-section, and I was not prepared for that mentally, physically at all. Like
I don't know who would be actually. I mean,
zero. So that was scary. And then a month later, I had to be in the hospital for 5 days without my 1-month-old baby because I had to have my gallbladder out.
so did the doctor explain to you? I mean, what precipitates that? What prompts a gallbladder to be taken out? I mean,
So
what's the reason behind that?
the doctor said it's really common after pregnancy for women to have gallbladder issues.
Okay.
And I'm
I
like,
didn't know that.
Interesting.
No, I've never in my research about pregnancy has anyone ever said that there might be gallbladder issues. Well, you know,
Yeah.
when you're a new parent, you have a newborn and a toddler running around, you eat a lot of fast food. You gotta feed fast. And it's high fat. So like we had, I don't know, burgers probably. And I would wake up in the middle of the night with the worst pain
Oh wow.
in my stomach, and I'm like, what the heck
Yeah.
is going on? So then I was like, okay, no more burgers. Well then
Yeah.
like 2 weeks later, I had a gyro sandwich or something. It's not super
Hmm.
high fat. Well, the
And by the way,
same thing happened, and I'm like, and it didn't go away that time. My husband works nights.
so
That's him there, William
it
Coles.
so
William.
in German, it's isn't it pronounced gyro in German?
Gyro, yeah.
Yeah, gyro.
Yeah.
So it's some of the things here, the way they say it in English, I still think is messed up. Some of because, but anyway,
Well,
that's a totally the other
yeah.
issue because there's some things I think, and I'm a little biased because I lived in Germany for 2 years, but there's still some things I think are still better said in German. But anyway, I digress. So
He
going
does.
through
Does that.
gallbladder surgery two weeks
4
after
weeks, yeah.
you do
4 weeks, yeah.
and it was an emergency C-section.
So I
Wow. I
wasn't
mean, not
even
only
I wasn't even healed from that surgery, and
no,
then
no,
I
you
had
can't heal.
another surgery. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There's no way your body would heal that quickly in that short amount of time.
No, I was like
And so
just
not only is
back
there
to
physically,
I was just
wow,
back to being able to like walk without pain and like pick up my baby. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's
And
a lot to go through.
they won't let you eat when you're in the hospital for gallbladder things. They're like, oh, we got to monitor your levels, but you can't eat or drink anything. I'm like, well, I need to produce, the life-giving
milk.
substance for my son.
Yeah.
So I need
Darf
to
nicht
eat
essen.
something. It was a fun time.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you joined the $7 program.
Mhm.
Was that which $7 program exactly was that? You don't mind me asking?
Legendary.
Okay,
LM,
legendary marketing.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because there are a bunch of them, and just I mean, similar to Legendary Marketer, as one of the programs that we had joined from Jonathan Montoya, it was teaching us to, not reinvent the wheel, model our content, off other people's, but you're basically copying what other people are doing.
Yeah.
That works when you first are starting, right? But once you get going, it just kind of gets redundant, and then
Yeah.
when you're continuously just sending the same message out there, about what you want to sell, that in and of itself gets repetitive as well. So this whole thing about telling stories, this amazing
Powerful.
storytelling framework,
Mhm.
I bought into it in the very, immediately right away.
Yeah, I know what Caden and Lambo did now, but at the time I thought I stumbled upon them, and I joined one of their lives, and I was like, this is really good information. And I'm very honest with myself. I've been in automotive, not in a sales position, not in a marketing position for 10 years now. I've zero experience marketing and sales. So I'm like, okay, I need all the help I can get because I want to make this work so I can
Mhm.
X out of automotive and spend more time with my kids. I went through all of the struggles to have them. I actually want to see them more than just the
There you go.
rush 2 hours at night and the weekend when
Yeah.
I have to
And-
catch up on all the shit I need to do around the house and with them and all of that,
I'm sure your husband William can fully understand that, as well as
Yes.
so many other moms out there, right? Who also would like to quit their 9-to-5 job and spend more time with their kids,
Yeah.
And let's face it, there are a lot of fathers, and husbands out there that would like to do the same thing too.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely. Like me and my husband talk all the time. I'm like, I'm going to retire me first because I'm the main caretaker for my kids. And then I'm going to retire you. And he works his ass off. He works a night shift. he takes all the overtime because I'm on a salary position. I can't do anything else to make any extra, you know. So it's hard. Like him and I, we don't spend a lot of time together because we're on opposite shifts. So that's hard on the
Mm-hmm.
marriage too, on top of having 2 young children.
Wow, holy
you know?
shift.
It's a balancing act that is not an easy one, you know, as
It really is.
no.
husband and wife, parents, and making ends meet. A lot of
Yeah.
people
Speaking of
can relate to this.
Absolutely. And speaking of moms, so I saw a TikTok video that you made. I think you posted it today about moms, and you kind of illustrated and talked about how the like 1,000,001 roles that you have. I think
Yeah.
is how you put it.
Yeah. Moms have 1,000,001 roles. You're
Yeah.
everything. You're the cook, the nutritionist, the teacher, the
Right.
educator, the manager,
Entertainer.
the entertainer,
Comforter.
negotiator, comforter, everything that every single role that you can think of, a mom has to do.
They're
CEO,
underrated.
you know, like you're not getting paid by that for that, except in hugs and cuddles and kisses, you know, love.
Sure. Right.
But just, you know, good, but it doesn't put food on the table.
Right.
So, I mean, moms have that ability to figure anything and everything out because you have to figure it
Right.
out for your kids.
Hold on,
And-
Saskia. How many chins do I have?
I don't know.
You said you could figure it out.
Can't see that far.
Yeah.
Let me adjust my glasses.
There we go.
Classic.
Yeah, so moms just have that superpower of, you know,
It is a superpower.
we're gonna figure it out because we have to. We have to figure it out.
And it's taken for granted.
Absolutely.
Oh, so often.
Every
Mhm.
single day. And like workplaces don't value mothers. If you can't, like,
Right.
I told my boss
true.
flat out, I'm like, I'm struggling with depression, and like it means I'm not motivated at all to do anything.
They don't care.
I
mean, to a point.
He's like, well, why was your performance not 110% like we're used to? Like, well, because I just had a baby. What do you want from me? I still got the stuff done that needed to get done. I just didn't do any extra stuff.
Yeah. They're not as understanding about that sort of stuff, are they?
No, if you give them 110% when you're not a mother, and then you become a mother, and you're like all of a
that's
sudden,
the thing about
hey,
employers is employers, once they get used to and get accustomed to a certain speed that you're working in and the tasks at which you perform, they always expect that same speed, and
Effort and
Yeah.
they
everything,
really
right.
don't appreciate anything you do. And so that's what I grew tired of. Is like, okay, so I'm gonna go full speed ahead, full throttle, 100%, and then I go above and beyond the call of duty. Then they expect that all the time.
yeah.
Are we going to be rewarded at our 9-to-5 jobs? Usually
didn't.
not. Usually not.
I didn't. I grew. So here's the mistake I did. I got comfortable with the company and I grew within the company. When you grow within the company, you don't get the pay that you deserve. They just don't.
Good point.
They just don't. So they hire in people from the outside that are worth less than you, but they're getting paid more. And I got sick of that.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not equitable at all. It's not fair at all. And so there are so many advantages of, and that's why, a lot of us are looking for, a different way. And that's one of the advantages, of course, that when you start to build an online business, there are some distinct advantages. And one of that it, one of those advantages, of course, is that you can have flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if your child is sick, you don't have to worry about calling in sick, because of your child being sick. So there
Yeah.
are many advantages, but the time freedom is something that I think is slightly more important than even financial freedom. I really do. And I
Yeah.
think that you had mentioned that's what really, you had talked about how that's something that you really cherish, is because you don't have enough of that time with your two little ones.
Right.
And
I mean, that's literally living life on your own terms. That's what we all see, really,
yeah, because like after daycare, they're just done. You don't get
They're finished.
good time with them after daycare, and then you have to go through dinner, bath time, bed, and there's no time in there to actually like spend quality time with them. And then the weekends, you're catching up on all the stuff that didn't get done during the week, and you still don't
Yeah.
get quality time with them. On top of
Right.
if you're living paycheck to paycheck, which inflation is insane right now. We have good jobs and we're still like, where is everything going? It's food and gas. Food and gas. Literally just
Yeah.
like eating.
I don't care where you live. That's the case, really. I mean,
Honestly,
it's hard to go into the grocery store and buy groceries for your family without spending a ton of money.
Over $100 each week.
Easily.
I know, easily. I just did groceries today. I'm like, why? This is the bare necessities. Why is this $150? But it is what it is. We gotta eat, But so there's no, like, it's summertime. We should have like the time of our lives with them and have so much fun. But there's nothing extra to go do stuff.
Summertime.
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 Look at this guy. That's not why I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
You started it.
Yeah, so the possibilities and opportunities that are out there in the digital space, it's amazing. And like as a busy mom, I would much rather spend money to get information that I want than to spend the time to figure it out. Time is something I do not have. So if you know something that is a little bit more than anybody else, put it in a digital product, put it out there because somebody will buy it. And put your story in there, connect.
Value bomb right there.
Put your story in there and connect and just throw it out there. Somebody will buy it.
Boom! That was so impactful right there. That is awesome. So that's what I'd like to kind of, we're getting near the end of our interview a little bit. We're going towards the light. Go to the light, Marianne. and the storytelling, the reason why it can be such an advantage when you're online is that it's giving people a glimpse. You know what I mean? It's giving them a picture of you, so to speak, that they wouldn't ordinarily see if you're just modeling the same copy and paste that other people do, and the other people online that are just pitching in every short form video.
Yeah.
A lot of sons of pitches out there.
They are. They're pitches and garden hose. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, and like I made a brand new account when I started changing my when I switched from LM to MRR because I didn't like the LM content at all. And like people say just delete or private your videos. I'm like, well, that would be a brand new account. So I might as well do a brand new account. And like you can tell there's no personality in there. There was not one piece of my story in there. And it didn't work because it was $7 and I didn't make one sale.
Yeah.
not a 1.
Well, and Lambo has said this before, and there's a lot of truth to it. Is that, and so I don't know it verbatim, but he said before something like, if you're not passionate about something, it it's hard to necessarily come across as though you're passionate about it if you're really not.
Yeah.
And
I think his thing
people
is
see
that,
through it. Yeah.
yeah, what he said is that you can't really be passionate about anything that's not yours.
yes, yes,
So create your own offer,
yeah,
OAR, and that's what you're going to be passionate about because that's yours and nobody else can copy it. Nobody else can be you and have your offer, and that's your strength. You are
It
your
is.
strength. No matter
That is your
at what
strength.
stage you are, somebody is going to connect with your story.
And I think that can be found in Lambo chapter 3, verse 13.
There probably will be a Lambo book at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. But that resonates with me. It does, because whenever I've found somebody online that talks about their story, even before I connected with Lambo and Caton about the amazing story framework, you could tell that when they're doing some sort of video and they're talking, and it's a talking video, and if they're telling a story, it's going to be, you're going to want to listen to the end as long as it's a genuine story.
Yeah.
And it just,
the authenticity is there. Yeah.
right. And you're in, man, I wonder what's going to happen at the end, and it is just something that I, just like Jeff, he mentioned earlier, is that it's something that I've been excited about from day one as well, because it just matches my personality more. So when back, I'm going to say it was in the early 2000s, I was working in the mall, and as a part-time job, I was selling cell phones at a kiosk. So have you guys ever, and I know the answer is yes, but have you ever been to the mall and you've walked by a kiosk, right? How many times has someone just pitched something to you without really greeting you very much? It happens all the time,
Yeah.
right? A lotion or whatever it is that they're doing, they automatically try to pitch you.
Yeah. Again,
And
the sons of bitches.
right. And so anyway, what I did differently even back then, and that's why, again, the amazing story framework resonates with me, is that as a big sports fan, I'm guilty as charged. I'm a big sports fan, is that I would automatically look for something, if somebody had like a baseball hat or NFL hat, NBA hat, whatever, T-shirts, whatever it is. If it were sports related in any way, then I'd be able to talk to that person and say, "Hey, I like your Philadelphia Eagles hat or your Detroit Lions T-shirt or whatever," and I'd start to talk to them, and we would talk about sports. So I was more relatable because I'm a guy who likes sports, and then in the conversation about sports, I would just use that as a bridge to talk to them a little bit more about what I'm doing, but I would always use something else instead of just automatically pitching them. And so, but in that same sort of theme, it's the same thing when we see so many people in short form videos right now, whether it's TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, or YouTube Shorts. If all day long, if we're just seeing these people just pitching automatically in these short form videos, to me, it's the same thing as the person at the kiosk just pitching automatically without getting to know me.
Yeah.
They don't know me. Why are they pitching me something? You don't know me.
Yeah. I was listening to I'm like obsessed with At My Lead podcast right now. So I was listening to the podcast earlier and he had I forgot who he had on, but he was saying, if you don't listen to your customer or your client or whatever, you don't even know how to pitch it to them, because
help 'em.
like the example was like, yeah, I'm selling you this chair and I just told you it's going to last you a long time, but the guy needs to buy a replacement chair for his ex-wife and he doesn't want it
Right.
to last. So you just like denied yourself a sale because you sold it in a way that he doesn't want it.
Right. And so I what I would take from that, it's paramount, it's super important to be able to identify the customer's needs. And what that reminds me of is when I go back to the States, I did that just recently on vacation. I keep an AT&T SIM card intact. I have a monthly bare minimum bill that I pay for it, so I can, when I arrive in the States, automatically I can put my US SIM card in, and I have comms. And as a matter of fact, I keep it in my phone now because it's a dual SIM phone. But I went to T-Mobile to see if T-Mobile could give me a better offer than AT&T, right? The guy asked me questions there at T-Mobile, and he, through his line of questioning, ascertained that they actually were not going to give me a better deal than AT&T. So he didn't try to, because he identified my need as a customer, and then we moved on to something else. And that my daughter needed a prepaid SIM, and we got her a prepaid SIM for T-Mobile. As far as the AT&T deal, he could not beat what they were doing. It was going to be the same price. So he identified that. Sometimes I think that's where we tend to go wrong, is we're not really identifying the needs of our customers. We're just doing a blanket general message.
Right.
And that's ethical marketing and sales, right? Don't just sell something for the sake of selling something. Actually serve
Solve a
people.
problem.
Serve people. Don't solve a problem and serve them with whatever solution you have. Or if it doesn't fit, find somebody else or send them their way. I'm sorry, I don't have this. Find someone else.
Boom!
Boom.
Boom! That's a value bomb, Abby. Thanks for the reminder. Boom! Place is shaking. All right, so Nicole says right here, gotta finish packing and getting to bed. You're doing a great job, Saskia.
Thanks, Nicole. Have a great vacation and good luck with your kids on the airplane.
Lambo bringing it. Service leads to greatness. You're right, because when you serve somebody, whether it's a doctor in a hospital, or whether it's whatever it may be. Maybe you're in a hotel and you've got somebody who's helping with your luggage, or a taxi driver, whatever it might be. Service will always be something that, if you do it well enough, that you're solving a problem. And Jeff said it, and I don't want to beat a dead horse necessarily, which is kind of a funny saying, because I live in Hooper and it's a rural area. We've got a bunch of horses here, so I hope my neighbors aren't mad.
He's got chickens too.
Right.
But I'm digressing.
I seen the chicken.
Sorry about that. I'm not really gonna beat your horse. He's already dead. But
all right, beat it.
I know. But I've almost lost my train of thought. I got derailed. But serving people helps us actually solve problems, and that's really what's going to help us make us different, when we're telling our stories, than the blanket pitches that people do on short form videos. putting
Yeah.
down a bunch of verbiage and sharing their information, and they don't even know me. It's basically just, fishing and hoping there's a bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that and like the salesy ones and the income claims. Everybody always compares
Oh,
themselves to the income claims. It's like, she made this much and she made this much. I'm like, don't worry about her. Worry about yourself,
yeah,
first off. And
right.
second off, is
True.
like, do you want the short term, really fast money, or do you want long term success where you're
Long-term
able to
sustainability.
quit your job and sustain
Hmm.
that income?
Yeah,
Like, I would love this amount of money right now. Would love
right.
it. But I would much rather in a couple of months to a year be able to quit my job, stay home with my kids, and have that be sustainable by just telling my story.
Hmm. And it's a great story. You have a
Absolutely.
great story.
I have a long
That-
story.
You've
I've
gone
lived
through a lot of hardships. And
Yeah,
you're
I
a
lived
warrior,
I
Saskia.
lived a long life for my young years.
yes, you have been through quite a bit.
Yes.
You've survived, if I can say that. You've endured quite a bit. So the thing that I would like to ask you, because we're going to be ending this soon, is what is your favorite part about the storytelling?
It's easy. It's like I make videos right now where I go like, I used to scroll for 30 minutes to try and find an
Uh-huh.
idea
Find
even to
content
do.
ideas.
Now it's like, okay, I gotta make a video. What part of my story am I gonna tell today?
Right.
It's just easy because it's you, and
Yes.
there's nobody else like you out there, so there's no copying pasting. You're
You're right.
I mean,
It's
yeah, if
so
you're
unique.
an identical twin,
Copy and paste.
well, yeah, well,
Yeah. So he copies me
but you
all the time.
still
I was
I-
born first. He
exactly.
copied me.
Exactly. But you still have different viewpoints of the same story, right? You didn't experience them the exact same way. So you still tell them, even though maybe you experienced the same situation, what
So
you thought and all of
I
that.
have to
is
admit something
different.
here. I told the story yesterday, and then I got thinking about it afterward. I'm not sure if Jared actually ate rabbit. I'm just saying. It may have just been me. It may have only
No.
been me that ate rabbit. I'm not sure if Jared did now.
I ate the rabbit too. I ate the rabbit.
Are you sure?
I do. I remember it. I remember eating the rabbit in Rose Park when Judy lived in Rose
Okay.
Park.
All
in
right.
the northern area of Salt
Fair
Lake
enough.
City.
We
Yeah,
both
I
ate rabbit. We both ate rabbit. Just letting everybody know.
By the way, speaking of having lived in Wolfsburg, okay,
We're
there
talking
are
about
feral.
Rose Park, not Wolfsburg.
I know, but we're talking about rabbits. Okay, and I don't know if that's the reason why they called their automobile the Rabbit, the Volkswagen, but there are wild rabbits all around in Wolfsburg. Anyway.
I have about 100 running around my house at the moment. They
there we go.
They trigger the motion sensor camera out front all the time in the middle
Oh,
of the night.
really?
Like, oh, who was here at 2
That's
a.m. in the morning?
crazy.
Oh, Thumper.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Eating Thumper. Yeah.
When I went on vacation, when we go on vacation, we have someone take care of our pets. We have 2 dogs and a cat here, and I actually had to delay going on vacation until someone that we knew and trusted with our dogs and cat came back from vacation herself. But we have cameras that we turn on so that we can actually see our dogs and our cat and watch them when we're on vacation. Imagine that,
Mhm.
you know. Hey, look, there's Sandy and
I've
there's
done
Bella.
it. I've done it.
So speaking of which, though, so Saskia, back in I want to say maybe 2014, Jeff. It may be the end of 2013, but it was when you sold your home in North Ogden, and he was going to Abu Dhabi, I think. I think that's when you were going to Abu.
That would be 2013,
right? Yeah, 2013. And so,
what was that beeping
speaking
noise?
of, I don't know. I didn't fart. It was not me. I did
Yeah,
not
I
fart.
think he did. That's not the first time it happened.
It wasn't me. But speaking of asking people to watch your animals, okay, he had asked me to watch his, I think it was 2 dogs, or could have been 2. Yeah. I almost digressed because Mike asked me to watch one of his dogs too. But so I watched 2 dogs. He asked me to watch his 2 dogs because they took a flight, and they flew over to Abu Dhabi, and their dogs had to fly separately, and
well, the thing is the dogs aren't allowed to fly during the hot temperature months because they go in cargo.
makes sense.
Makes sense.
Right.
And it's too hot, so they can only fly here like in the winter months when the temperatures are cooler and cargo on the plane.
Yeah. So it was my responsibility to watch Sandy and then the other one, and I'm forgetting the other one's name. But so the other dog.
You're a great brother.
I know, but this is so it was a dog that they had gotten from the Humane Society or no, wait, wasn't it? Didn't Julia find it? Because anyway, the dog the previous owner allegedly. Do you remember the story, Jeff? Allegedly, the previous owner of the dog was not nice to the dog, and so the dog was very nervous around people, and would cower, so to speak, in the corner of a room and not be around people because I guess the previous owner was mean or something. But anyway, the reason why I tell the story is it was unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but I love dogs, and so I wanted to watch the dogs. In fact, I still ask Jeff how Sandy is because I love Sandy, and Sandy still, is a great dog. But their other dog, but the dog that I don't remember the name. Was it Pepper?
No.
What was the name?
This is a fantastic story that's going absolutely nowhere.
I know, because it's not. I don't even know why I'm telling us other than he just mentioned that he had people watch the dogs. Is that the dog was in my yard, had to go out, and I had the gate closed, but it was a small dog, and got underneath my gate and went into the road, and we have a bunch of hunters driving by, and they probably drive too fast, and it got hit, and I had to tell him that I dropped the ball. I fumbled the ball, and it was my responsibility, and I had to tell him that the dog was no longer with us. And this is such a sad story.
And you don't even remember the name of the dog?
I know.
Which makes it worse, right?
I remember
it does make it so much worse.
I was so sad that not only did I not want to call him and tell him, but I buried the dog. I had to bury the dog. I remember the shovel, and I know, rest in peace to the dog unknown. I had to bury the dog, and I cried. I remember crying when I buried the dog.
Did you put a tombstone on the thing so you can go out and remember the name?
I know where I buried the dog.
Needless to say, Jared won't be watching my dogs anytime soon.
I don't blame you.
Naja, ich bin Hundmutter. So
Jeff, what was the dog's name?
I don't know if he remembers. He doesn't. You don't remember the name either.
Well, does that make you feel better if I don't?
No, but maybe a little. I
This
still have a photo of that dog. I hated that.
You hated that dog?
happened on the lot. Feel badly, okay? I'm sorry that happened, brother.
that is very sad for Nameless. Very sad.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna end the show on a better note.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's.
If you ever have the responsibility to babysit, to dog sit, you can do a better job than I can. You can do a better job than what I did. I could have performed better, and you can do better.
Yes.
He,
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Heaven.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm
Turned it
doing
into
that.
a dog patty. Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure having you on the Double Trouble Show, Saskia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone who tuned in, all the viewers. And don't forget to drop comments before we end this show. And Saskia, we are going to continue to support you in all your endeavors. God bless you and your family.
Thank you. You
Yes.
too.
Alles Gute.
Alles Gute.
Schönen Abend noch.
Ja, genau.
Danke. All right. So, thank you again. Have a very good evening, everyone. Saskia, make sure that William knows that we're thankful that maybe he took husband duties and watched or was on the husband alert for your kids while you're doing this interview.
He's at work.
Oh, okay. So he was commenting while he was at work. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
He's got a union
awesome.
job. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool,
union's
cool.
big over there in that part of the United States.
Yeah.
All right. But thanks again. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers. All right, Jeff. I know it's early where you're at still. Hopefully you can go take a nap, get rejuvenated for the day. And I want to thank everyone else as well. Thank you for the comments, everyone from the OAR fam. Thank you. And peace. I'm out. Peace. Where's that outro? Boom.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.